Welcome to Communispon's LearnTO series. This session is Learn to present complex visuals effectively. As we all know, complex information is a fact of our business life. We have to present critical charts and data visually, and it's tough to do that effectively. First, let's take a quick look at what makes a good visual, because if we start with poorly created visuals, presenting them effectively gets even tougher. Good visuals contain only critical information. They use color wisely, are formatted simply, and tie clearly to what's being presented. Cluttered visuals are very difficult to present clearly and credibly. It's the "you probably can't see this but" syndrome that we've all experienced. But even well-designed visuals can become a challenge when they contain complex information. So how you present them is critical. You must make sure that the people in your audience understand the information without getting lost in it. You have to keep them with you by directing them to key information. And you have to focus on your goals and keep your credibility intact as you do it. That means you have to get information across without losing the audience's attention or confusing them with a data dump. Here is a complex slide. At first glance, it's confusing. How you present visuals like this one will determine whether the audience understands it quickly or gets lost in it. The good news is that this slide has some clear visual cues that you can use to immediately focus their attention where you want it. For example, the axes are clearly marked and the colors are easy to describe. Visual cues are critical components that will help you present slides like this. Here's the how-to on presenting a complex visual effectively. When presenting, check your physical positioning. Tell viewers what they're seeing. Talk to the audience, not the visual. Connect your information to your point. Let's talk a little bit more about these tips. Your physical position matters. Keep the visual to your left in a position that allows you to see it easily without turning your back on your audience. Tell your audience what the entire slide represents. Give them the big picture first, before getting into any details. Point to and explain any keys to the information, such as the axes, heading, and what the colors represent. Think of this as a tour of the information. Make sure you stay connected with your audience. Look at the information, then turn and face them as you speak. Don't talk to the screen. And always state clearly how this information connects to your point. Use phrases like, "This information is important because," or "this supports our decision to," or "this shows us the need for." Here's an example of how to present the complex visual you just saw. This is July 2009 meteorological data for Oklahoma City. Actual temperatures through July 11th and averages for the rest of the year. The top half of the chart shows temperature and the bottom half shows precipitation. Months run along the top and bottom, scales run up both sides. Let's take a closer look at the temperature information in the top section. The light green shows us what's normal. Blue and pink show us historical extremes. Look at the dark green. It's the actual daily temperature through July 11th. As you can see, this shows us that the temperatures were only marginally higher than normal. So, the substantial jump in our cooling costs during that time cannot be due entirely to external temperatures. Now, let's look at the precipitation information in the lower half of this graph. See? I haven't lost you yet. And if I continued this way, especially if I used an arrow or other pointing tool, your attention would be exactly where I need it. So by following a few basic guidelines, presenting complex visuals effectively really can be simple. Thanks for using Communispon's LearnTO present complex visuals effectively. For more information about Communispon's products and services, check our website at www.communispond.com.